Welcome back to the show. Well, CordeValle Golf Club is a remarkable golf resort in Northern California. It hosted the 2016 U.S. Women's Open and also played host to the PGA Tour's Fries.com Open for 4 years as well. Mark was there recently. Let's learn all about CordeValle Golf Club.
Andrew, thanks for the time. Place is special. Let's start with location. Surrounded by mountains, meadows, wineries. The minute you get here, it's a bit of a sanctuary.
Yeah, CordeValle is located in a really good spot. We have Silicon Valley to our north, and then the famous Monterey Peninsula down south. So we have a really cool combination of members and clients who come here to stay and play, and then we have a really vast membership as well who travel down, stay in the hotel, and enjoy the golf course and what we have to offer.
Before we get to activities, because there is a lot to offer, you mentioned members, etc. I understand the membership's full, but the resort is open if you want to come, book, and stay. Where do you see people coming from? Members, guests? What part of the world would you say is the majority of customers? Because our viewers in Canada who live in British Columbia and Alberta, this is going to be on their radar.
Yeah, I think the majority of the membership has started out, everybody up in Silicon Valley, San Francisco. And then since the pandemic, everybody's kind of moved south. They're working from home, so everybody's a little bit more centrally located. So we're definitely in a really unique spot now with our membership being full. And then the resort element, people can stay off the street. They stay in the hotel, and we reserve tee times every hour for them so they can come and experience, what it's like to be a member and come stay and play. So
exclusivity comes to mind, the word, because it feels like a member for a day or a weekend. So many of the great golf properties in the world, unfortunately, with the golf boom, you can also get bad things, like it becomes a factory. This is the opposite of that. This feels so calming, so relaxed, so welcoming. It's a very different vibe.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think that's partly because of our location. Having a full membership, helps us with our sustainability, but it allows kind of lower traffic levels in a normal country club where you have a community based around it. Here at CordeValle, we have no homes on the golf course, so it's very unique. It's just right here in the valley. So when you're playing golf, you feel like you're just nestled in. It's pure nature. You don't have any homes, and then you don't have everybody the high traffic where you're coming just straight from home right onto the golf course. You have to be committed and travel in. So it leaves some open tee times and allows you to kind of zip around the golf course if you're coming out to play.
There's more than just golf. Mrs. Golf Talk Canada has hit the spa. Spa looks fantastic. Outdoor heated pool to 80 plus degrees, 12 months a year. Surrounded by wineries in the area. You've partnered with a winery. Great dining options. I'll be hitting the Italian restaurant. Surprise, surprise there. If anybody knows me, any of our listeners and viewers know, I go immediately to the Italian restaurant. There's lots to do here.
Yeah, there definitely is. It's awesome. We have 3 different restaurants. We have the grill down by golf. We have our 1 Iron Bar, and then as you mentioned, Il Vigneto, our high dining Italian restaurant. The winery, it's awesome, Colations, which I think is going to be rebranded, but it's up there on the hill that we're partnering with. And then we just recently put in some new pickleball courts. We've already had tennis courts, but now the pickleball boom, we got 8 new courts down there for our membership to enjoy and for those who are coming to stay. So a lot to do. And we also have a really nice 3-mile hiking trail up and down the mountains out here that it's definitely difficult if you get out and do it.
Great history here on this golf course. Fries.com, I work with PGA Tour, as you know, so we used to come here. U.S. Women's Open. There's a rich playing history of golf at this club.
Yeah, there definitely is. CordeValle offers a championship golf course. Robert Trent Jones Jr. design. We had the Fries.com for 4 years, in 2010 to 13, and the U.S. Women's Open in 2016. It's definitely a player's golf course. You can tip it out, and it plays, 7,500 yards. So there's a good test of golf out there for any golfer. And then we obviously have 5 sets of tees. So anybody, looking to move a little bit forward that can't hit it out there 300 yards like the tour players, there's an offering for you. So it's definitely a good test of golf for anybody that comes out to enjoy it.
If there's something in this resort that might surprise somebody when they arrive, for me, it's the attention to detail. From the room to the service, every employee that I've come in encounter with is spectacular. All the little attention to detail kind of blew me away right through this property. If there was something for you that still surprises you. Maybe 8 years later, you've been here 8 years, golf director. What is the secret in the sauce, or what's the surprise for you here in Erie?
Yeah, I think we're always trying to anticipate our member and guest needs. So we train our staff on that. So when our member or hotel guest is on property, we're always trying to go above and beyond for them, and how can we make their experience unforgettable when they're staying here. So I think some of the minor details that our staff do, and we hear stories about it all the time, that usually surprises us because we're not on the ground day to day seeing it. So when our staff go above and beyond for the members and guests, it's always a cool story to tell, and a surprise for even myself when we hear about them.
Andrew, I understand, longtime employee here, Raul. There was a special story about going above and beyond, which kind of tells us a little bit about everybody here at CordeValle.
Yeah, Raul, he's one of our locker room attendants, and they do a lot of really cool things in there. We had one of our members, he just bought a new pair of shoes, and he brought them to Raul to put the insoles from his old shoes into the new ones. And Raul noticed that they were a little tired and weathered, so Raul took it upon himself to go on his way home and pick up new insoles for him, size them up, put them in the new shoes, and put them in the member's locker without the member even knowing he was doing all that. So one of those fine details that we do here at CordeValle for our members and guests.
Starting with the topography, we're nestled in nicely within the Santa Cruz Mountains, so you're going to see a lot of rolling hills, very characteristic of Northern California, and it synchronizes nicely to adjusting when you're playing on the golf course. You have to pay attention to every lie, or else you get in trouble.
A lot of elevation changes out there with these rolling hills. Like, is it a bit of up and down? Is there some math work? This one's below me, this one's above me, etc.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, when we had the U.S. Women's Open here, one of the biggest challenges they said was making sure you had to pay attention to even the subtleties in the rolling hills. And sometimes the big hills are obvious, but the subtle ones make this place beautiful and play a lot to the characteristic of the golf course.
John Robert Trent Jones Jr., he built a ton of facilities, refurbished, renovated. He's got some gems, yet he holds this golf course in such high regard. Why do you think that was? What made this place special for him, and what do you think it makes it as special for visitors?
Well, he did a great job keeping the natural topography of the surface out here. It's very much synchronized with the rolling hills of Northern California, and it's notable that the bunkers out here were some of the sight lines, and he put these beautiful sight lines and targets to hit to when you're off hitting that initial shot. So it's very much a full swing golf course, and it plays with a lot of character that you can see in Mr. Jones's design as it related to